on, my little goats? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing pretty well. Right now the moon is at 21.2% illumination in the sign of Leo. Just coming out of that new moon that we had on the 6th. So let's see what this energy is like bringing about for you. How you're feeling. What's going on with you? Earth, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. So this is like feeling set apart, right? This reminds me of that scripture in the Bible, and I'm gonna fuck it up, I know it, but it basically says, before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and I set you apart. Though you were in this world, you were not of this world. And you know, it goes on to like, you know, it connects or correlates to the other scripture that like many are called, few are chosen. And so I feel like you may feel like you have a bigger cause, right? There's a bigger purpose for you. You might feel like you can't relate to the people around you, or there's just something about you that's a little otherworldly. You got the love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So we'll clarify that, you know, because that could mean a lot of things. It could represent business, or your love life, or your family life in some way. But it's like there is an importance in setting boundaries, right? Boundaries are very needed, especially with how Audacity seems to be on sale these days. It's like the only thing in the universe that's getting cheaper is Audacity. So, yeah, and with this talking about codependency, it may not even be you, right? It could be somebody who's codependent on you, or, you know, every now and then, you know. So I just want to clarify it and kind of see what exactly that means when we get into the tarot. The cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer, right? So I love this. It's like you're devoted. If you do have family that relies on you, I don't like using the term codependency when it's like co-building, right? There's, and maybe there is codependency, I don't know, but it just seems like not the energy I'm feeling with this, you know? It doesn't feel like I'm trapped in a situation. It's like feeling a responsibility toward a situation, feeling a devotion toward a situation, you know? So I feel that, you know, it's that word is harsh for this, for how I'm feeling or reading it, you know. Star family, you're part of a team of souls. Call in support, right? If you're feeling like there's too much to handle or you got too much on your plate, you do have people you can rely on, right? Whether they're living or in spirit, right? You have people you can rely on. Hit up your soul team, you know. Hit up your family, your friends, you know. Call to your ancestors, your spirit guides, whatever you gotta do. But there's an energy that, like, if you're feeling like it's too much, don't be afraid to, like, share the burden, because I feel that there are people out there who are willing to help you carry that, and without resentment or, you know, feeling owed or whatever, you know. It's like there's people who just want what's best for you, and so it's really calling you to reach out to those people who you know have your back, you know, to really help you get through whatever it is, even if it's just a big burden to carry, you know. Alright, so let's clarify this. Even if you just need someone to vent to, I feel like you have people you can do that with. Sometimes that's all we really need. We just need to get it out in a safe environment, you know, with somebody who genuinely gives a shit. And sometimes that really helps kind of rebalance on the inside, you know? And I know that's weird for an Aquarius to tell you, but as an Aquarius, I also know how important that is, right? Because being emotionally vulnerable with people is not our strong suit. As an Aquarius, as a Capricorn, it's not. So vulnerability is not our favorite thing to be showing off. So when you have people you can genuinely trust and feel vulnerable with and like kind of vent to, I think those are the kinds of people you need to bring more of into your life, you know? I love your energy. I do. I get it. I'm going to start from the middle because that's what's calling to me the most. Is this Hermit energy, this Virgo energy. Whether, you know, there's a Virgo in your life or whatever, that doesn't necessarily matter. That's just the energy of the card I'm reading. And the Hermit energy is like keeping all your shit to yourself, right? You're like, I can't burden people. Like, people can't know that, like, I'm not 100 all the time, like, and I get that. In my soul, I get that. Like, I fucking feel you, bro. It's hard. Especially when you have such a focus on, with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like your resources. You know, you might have a family to take care of. You may have people who rely on you. Even if it's just animals and plants. Like, you have something that, you know, like, relies on you in some way. And if not, you will. You know, that's showing up. But with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm feeling that, like, you're looking at opportunities for financial growth, right? Whether that's getting a new job, entrepreneurship, whatever, but it's like you're looking at fiscal elevation, right? You want to grow your money, your resources, because you have a lot of shit that you feel responsible for. Even if it's your own damn self, that's a lot to be responsible for in today's society, okay? So, you know, getting bills paid, having a car, whatever the deal is, you know, it's like you're just looking to live financially comfortable, right? And perhaps that means cutting out certain things, right? Like eating out, drinking, socializing even. And I know I did mention that you should, you know, reach out to somebody that you know and trust, but that doesn't, you know, I've noticed that with my closest friends, I don't have to spend money to be in their presence, right? And so that's where I'm drawing a significant contrast from what I, you know, like, it's okay to reach out, maybe have a phone call or text somebody, you know, that you feel you can trust and vent to. I feel like, you know, video chat, you know, your friend in another state, whatever it is, whoever you feel comfortable to, like, reach out to. And And I understand cutting out socializing. That's different, right? Than having somebody you can fight in and like going out to, you know, barbecues and bars and concerts and, you know, social events. I think that's the thing that you're kind of like, you know, you're not trying to entertain excessive spending for the most part. With the Prince of Swords, this is kind of clarified because, you know, you're cutting shit off, you're stern, you have a direction and you know where you want to go in life, so you're not going to let anything really distract you or sway you from your goal or your aim. Which I admire that in you. That's fucking powerful, right? That's hella Capricorn energy. You might be an entrepreneur. I often tell people, Capricorns are not meant to work for other people. Capricorns are meant to like have their own businesses or like, you know, live self-sufficiently. They don't like having to rely on bosses and things like that. They want, you know, they're not really for having some authoritarian over them, right? You like having your autonomy. You like your freedom. You like, you know, kind of feeling like you got a handle on shit. We have Princess of Swords in reverse. Could be young, you know, because this is the energy that I'm feeling. And if you're not young, then there's something that you're new to. And it looks like there's a feminine energy here that's kind of like an equal opposite, I should say. Alright? It's like they're more open. And that doesn't mean female, right? When I say feminine, it doesn't have to mean female. Because I know a lot of like male feminines and a lot of masculine women, and it has nothing to do with their sexuality, you know, or their gender. It's really like, do you operate on the left or right side of your brain the most, right? That's really what it's about. We all have masculine and feminine within us. And what I'm seeing here is you're showing up as a masculine energy, whether you're male, female, straight, whatever, you know, that's what you're showing up as. And that means that you're very, like, you're thinking about business, you're thinking about strategy, you're organizing your resources, you're, you know, thinking ahead, right? The feminine is very in the moment and more like daydreamy and like everything should just be the way that we want it to be just because, you know, and, you know, and believe me, I have a lot of feminine in me, so I feel that, you know, and the feminine is very creative, very artistic, very like, you know, and she's showing, or I'm saying she, but they are showing up in this energy of being just perhaps like they're non-confrontational, right? Because swords in the upright kind of represents kind of like this assertive nature. And so in reverse is almost like passive aggressive or non-confrontational. Like, this is somebody who comes off as, like, almost timid or sweet, you know. Very equal opposite energy of you, because you kind of have this very, like, upfront, like, I know what I want. I know what I'm doing. And they're just kind of like, okay, we're going that way, you know. And then, so, I mean, it works, because that dynamic works, you know. It's like a magnet, like how the negative and positive attract, or like how you can't make a battery work without the negative and positive forces, you know? So, it's like your polarities work well together, right? But you also feel like you can't relate to them in a lot of ways and vice versa. So that can be challenging, right? That there's a feeling of some parts of you feel they'll never really understand, and vice versa. Some parts of them, they feel you'll never really understand. But You guys work well together, right? It's like an equal opposite kind of energy. We have the World card. And I feel that you're entering into a new stage, right? You know how like every 10 years your taste buds change? Well, that actually happens as a result of like how every 7 years every human cell in your body is changed, right? It's, you know, all the dead cells gone, you know, everything is replenished, right? And it makes you wonder where that energy is coming from, right? But we go through kind of a soul change in the same period, you know, between 7 to 10 years. Every 7 to 10 years, we go through a shift. And we see it more prominently in our formative years because you go from like being a little baby to being a preteen. And you go then you go through your teenage years and then into your 20s and then through your 20s and your 30s. And you notice that there is a shift every 10 years that you go through, but I don't think people understand that this happens on a molecular level. This shift and change, the entirety of what you are becomes another person, right? And that's why your energy is different, you feel different, things are different. And so you may be going through a kind of shift like this, right? Like a renewal of spirit, if you will. And it requires a lot of strength and courage and bravery to kind of like endeavor in this new direction. You may feel that you're growing apart from people, you know, that you like had a lot of closeness with. You may feel that there's a lot of shifting and changing going on inside of you. And this is going to in turn change your external circumstances, because as your insides change, your outsides change, right? This reminds me of that song by Man, Hold On To Your Heart, where he's like, and I need new skin for this old skeleton of mine. Cause this one that I'm in's let me down once again over time. And I feel that it's such a natural thing. And it's not that you feel like your skin's let you down. But it's like when a lobster is molting, for example. I had a boss once that used this example, and I bring it up periodically because it was a good one. I think he got it on TikTok, but whatever. He was like, change is painful, right? And so think about the lobster. When they're outgrowing their shell, it's painful, it hurts, they're uncomfortable, they have no wiggle room, they're just like, ugh, brother, you know, they're like, they hate it, and it gets so uncomfortable. And this shell is their protection. This shell is all that they know, like they rely on it. It's, you know, they know as soon as they leave the shell, they're going to be left vulnerable and soft and vulnerable, you know, like, and so, but eventually the discomfort is so bad, it's so extreme, that they have to wiggle out of the shell. They just have to, like, they can't keep, you know, living in there. And so then they go and hide under a rock, right? Like, we pulled the Hermit card for you. That was the first tarot card we got for you. And they hide under a rock while they're feeling like jelly, right? They're vulnerable to attack, right? Their protective layer is gone. They feel completely insecure in their situation. So they go and hide under a rock. And while they're hiding under the rock, just like a caterpillar in the cocoon, then it starts growing, right? And then the shell starts growing. And I think you said it was like 5 to 10% larger than, maybe 30%. I don't know. Stats, you know. But it gets a lot larger. you know, of shell room, right? It's a lot stronger of a shell, right? In the same way that, like, when your teeth grow in after you lose your first teeth, they're a lot stronger, they're bigger, they're, you know, and, well, it's the same for the lobster shell. As soon as it gets that new shell, it's like, it's strong as hell. It feels confident again. It's like, ain't nothing gonna take me down, you know? And it goes out there and it feels free and liberated, and that burden is gone. It's not in pain. It's not suffering. It's able to, you know, and it's not that its physical circumstances have changed, but its own personal circumstances. Like, they have to go through their own kind of dark night of the soul, if you will. It's not just limited to humans, right? If you have a soul, you're going through it. Don't fucking matter, right? I mean, I know way too many dogs that have been on antidepressants, you know, like, there's, like, every animal, every soul is, has to go through it, you know? It's part of the evolution of the soul. It's growing pains, okay? It's what it is. And when you know what it is, it makes it a lot more survivable, because you know that it's making you stronger and better and more protected, you know? And as your frequency changes, so will your likes and your dislikes. Same with your taste buds, right? You know, you might like different music. You might want, you know, to do new things. You might pick up new hobbies, things that are, you know, different from what you're used to or what, you know. And so, yeah. So what's your advice? Yeah, 10 of Wands in reverse. I see you releasing an emotional burden. Just like I just damn said. I just said it. But yeah, you're releasing that burden. The things that hold you back. The things that limit you. Right? Because it's too painful to carry anymore. It's too much of a struggle. It's too much of a burden. It's time to let it go. All that past energy. All that past bullshit. It's like you're releasing that. And with the 10 in reverse, that really shows me that you're going into this new beginning, especially with the world in the upright, you know, signaling the completion of a cycle. With 8 of Cups in reverse, I see like a lot of emotional strength as well, because this requires you to stay in a situation that you may have contemplated walking away from, right? Whether this is a job or a relationship or something. But it's like you've invested a lot of time and energy, and it's almost like the investment was too much to just walk away from it, right? It's too much to give up on it. So you just have to acclimate. You know, if you started a business and you've invested too much of yourself into it, you have to acclimate. You know, it's too late to go back now. So, yeah, it requires an evolution of the soul, right? Because now you're going to be required to be a lot more responsible. Maybe for, you know, more people if you, like, have employees or whatever. Or even clients, if you're starting a new business. Like, now you have a responsibility to them. And that's a lot, but it's not too fucking much for a Capricorn. You're expanding, right? You're expanding right now. Just as I thought. Yeah. Showing up as the Emperor, right? This is Aries energy. Divine masculine energy. And the Emperor is like a boss, right? A father figure, if you will. But this is like boss-ass energy. This is, you know, you really sitting on your throne and, you know, having to take up that seat. And it might be scary. It might be overwhelming. There might be a lot. But with this Ankh in his hand, I see that you have everything you need to attain it. And I know that you have this spiritual backing in your path. So you're only getting green lights. You know? Whatever it is that needs to be overcome will be overcome. We have the Devil, Capricorn energy. And this is actually, in most readings, it probably wouldn't be a good thing. But for you, this is a great thing because this is the Capricorn card and it is in the upright. Meaning that you're really stepping into your full power, your full potential. You're really showing yourself what's up. Having the Emperor and the Devil together, because the Devil is like a master at manifesting, at, you know, like creating the material circumstances they desire, right? And so, yeah, showing up in your own reading is a good sign. It's auspicious, right? For your path, for your direction. It's like you're on the right path. Even if you might feel like, oh shit, it's a lot. It's like, dude, you're right where you need to be and you're going to continue growing and expanding and things are going to get so much easier for you as you step into your full empowerment. You're bossing the fuck up. That's what you're doing. Ain't nobody gonna get in your way. And if they do, they're gonna get trampled, right? Because you got a spirit squad. You have a star family. People who have your back in spirit and in flesh. And you know you're a damn good Emperor if your people want to see you succeed, right? If your star family wants to see you succeed, that says a lot, right? Some Marcus Aurelius energy. Mahavidya. No matter how logical an approach may be or how sensible it may seem, there are times when our heart nudges us toward a different way. Have the courage to be moved by your heart along untried paths that resonate. Whatever the logical mind has to say about them, you are outgrowing a problem and birthing a superior outcome. Like I said. Matangi. She is the tantric queen of outcasts, unveiling the hidden inner power to thrive outside conventional society. If you've been denied love and respect, she brings healing and empowerment. If you've suffered rejection, abandonment, or been labeled as unworthy in any way, she brings dignity and repair. She clears the way for a creative, joyful, and vibrant life path. And this is what I have for you. Namaste. I love you guys, and I will see you later.